September 30th, 2025. Well, it's beginning to look like the government shutdown is definitely going to happen now, unless some last minute development happens. By the time most people see it, it's going to occur. It's clearly a Democrat ploy to reverse some of the significant policies that, of course, Trump got enacted in his big bill earlier. And of course, this would tend to um, uh, increase the deficit. Some of these things seem to me to be somewhat unreasonable. So there's a I guess you call it an Obamacare subsidy, if you want to call it that, that was that was basically enacted as part of the COVID relief effort. And since we're no longer under COVID lockdown, we have full employment. It seems like we could revert to the level that we had prior to the COVID pandemic, since obviously that would be a reasonable thing to do given the current situation, and particularly employment probably in the let's say the lower earning sector probably isn't all that bad right now. It looks like that the labor market problems that exist right now are more in the college educated group, which are being replaced to some degree with AI, and so I don't think people that really, let's say, work with their hands primarily are the ones that are going to be losing jobs in this period. But at any rate, that this is the Democrats are prepared to shut down the government over this. Also, I think they're insisting on basically allowing illegal immigrants to have Medicaid. And there's also a program which is a little hard to explain, but it allows insurance companies to somehow get some money. And there's a viewpoint there's some corruption in the program, which would basically it isn't so much trying to with taking benefits away from the actual intended recipients, but rather just money being diverted in various ways that was at least judged by the Republican majority to not be a good plan. Now, and as far as it's a counter strike, which I guess you'd expect at this point, considering the Democrat base, and so this could pretend to be a fairly lengthy shutdown, in my opinion. I could be wrong about that, but I've been thinking going into this that that's very likely to be the case because of the kind of attitude and the division that exists right now in the country. Um, and the thing is there's a lot of things that might in theory be nice to be done, but if we have to kind of look at what the means we have are and so forth. Um, and also a stronger economy can actually be a benefit to everybody as well. And I think that's what I think we're pushing for. So it's hard to know how long this shutdown will last and how it will end up. Probably will depend a lot on how the polling and the propaganda go, as always during these things. But so anyhow, that's what we're in for a while, and we'll see what the consequences are. The absurdity of it is that all the furloughed government employees that won't be paid during the um, shutdown will get full compensation back once the government's reestablished. So it's kind of like, as long as they have enough credit to get by for the period of time, they'll end up not being harmed to get a free vacation out of it. Probably not one that they can do anything with, more like a staycation, I guess. If you like these videos, please give me a like, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, and you can also follow me on Rumble if you prefer. So yeah, so that's kind of the shape of things. It looks like both sides are standing firm, and Congress, the House is out of session, so you really can't do anything other than either accept the Republican clean bill, which is what they're proposing, is simply to continue at the funding level, which in fact the Biden administration left them with. Okay, and until they actually can work out a compromise, because all elements of the budget were as always incomplete, but this time they never can get it done on time, and so that's the situation, and we'll have to stay tuned in. On other events, I guess Jimmy Kimmel is back on, and all the Sinclair and Nexstar stations have caved in and are now carrying him. And on the other hand, apparently after his initial comeback, his ratings have fallen back by 60 some percent. So he's kind of like the whole thing never happened, basically, as far as he's concerned. So that's kind of the way that will be, I guess, for the time being, and we'll have to, you know, stay tuned in for the further developments as time goes forward. Um, I have heard, on the good news side, I hear that that NASA has put the Artemis 2 moon launch back on schedule, and in fact, I think it's been moved up about a month or so from what was originally planned to February. We'll see if the government shutdown has any impact on that or not. But that's will be interesting to see a successful flight of this whole combination of the SLS and the Orion capsule with an actual crew of 4, and that we've been waiting a long time for that, and a lot of money has been spent and not many flights, so to speak. So I hope that all works out pretty good. On the international front, it looks like that Trump has this 20-point proposal to bring peace between Israel and the Palestinians, and it involves, I guess, some kind of an international commission that's supposed to run things, and the idea is to keep Hamas out of the game as long as they have this plan to destroy Israel as part of their charter, and and we'll see how that plays out, whether or not Hamas will accept the deal or not. It does call for the release of all remaining hostages and the bodies of those that are deceased. So anyway, so we'll hope that works out. I think it would be kind of a good thing that kind of bring this conflict to an end. It's certainly been a bit of a detriment to Israel's popularity. I think in many ways unfairly, because I doubt that any other army doing the mission they did would have done it with less collateral damage, really. I know that I keep hearing these people talking about a genocide, but I don't think it is a genocide. I think it's just the normal collateral damage of urban combat, particularly when you're dealing with an organization like Hamas, who really wants a lot of civilian casualties in order to achieve their political goals. And it seems like a lot of people in the world seem to fall for this kind of stuff. But anyhow, we'll have to see whether this one will be successful or not. Supposedly, Netanyahu has also had to call the Qatari government and apologize for the collateral damage, the individual that got killed during their strike against Hamas leadership that were in Qatar. So we'll have to, kind of keep track of everything. The other thing that's kind of on the plate here is it looks like that it's kind of been announced that Putin is going to make some kind of major speech in the near future here, perhaps during the time that this will be my leading video. And then also the U.S. is I guess, considering a request by Ukraine to receive some Tomahawk missiles. Now, as I understand, that's part of these. I guess these are missiles that will be paid for by Europe as part of their so-called $90 billion purchase plan. And so it's hard to know when these missiles would be delivered. As land-based Tomahawks really aren't currently in the inventory. I think the Army does have a plan to bring them back in. The ones that existed previously back in the 1980s were nuclear in nature. And of course, these would be conventional. But most of the Tomahawks are really naval-launched missiles from surface ships and submarines today. But they can be launched from, they can be adapted to that mode. But I'm not sure that the necessary equipment to do it, including the equipment would be necessary to program and target them, as well as some jury rig to simply launch them. I don't know if that's available in quantity at this point. I know the Army is planning on developing this. Initially, was planned for use in the Pacific as a deterrent against any potential Chinese action. So anyway, that's kind of the state of things at this time, and so I'll be wrapping this one up for now. In my previous video, if you haven't seen it, I went into a pretty extensive description of my position on the Russia-Ukraine war and its origins and the current status and developments in the Trump policy. So you might watch that as well. I'll be wrapping this up for now, and of course you can follow me on X and also my other social media accounts, and I'll be posting this on YouTube and Rumble.